You are listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
What's happening, everybody? It is your Currently boys. Daniel Kooser here with his best buddy, Chris Wright, talking KC Current on Currently on No Other Pod. Chris, how are you, sir? What's going on?
I'm on cloud nine. I'm on cloud nine. Unless you've been living under a rock today, then you probably know about the two new signings.
There you are, folks. It was, these signings took place on Wednesday, was when we're recording. So, because we probably slid into KC Current's DMs and we're like, hey, we're going to record later. So if you could, announce this shit ahead of time, that'd be great. So we could have something to talk about. They always got our backs, bro.
They love us.
Hey, no new reviews to read or anything. Nobody loves us. We always like to read the listener reviews on Apple Podcasts, or everyone's just smart and they use different podcast platforms that don't allow reviews, because Apple Podcasts, I hear, is kind of terrible. I'm the only square that still uses it. Did you know this?
I did not.
I'm talking to all these other Apple users, and they're like, "Oh, I don't use Apple Podcasts. That's crap." And I was like, "It is? I'm so I didn't know this." But my own wife, she's like, "Oh yeah, I've been using this platform," and I was like, "What? You don't use Apple Podcasts?" So, anyways, apparently there's better stuff out there. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
But anyways, if you leave a review or a rating of your choice on your platform of choice, please go do that. And we're excited to be back with you guys talking KC Current signings, man. Do you want to break these signings down?
Let's go into it.
Shoot. Well, 2 veteran free agents coming over to Kansas City, because why wouldn't you want to be here with an up and coming organization building a state-of-the-art women's stadium, first of its kind? You want to pronounce this first name here, because I had to look up the pronunciation.
Morgan Gatrot. That's how
right.
I believe
there's no
it
T.
is.
The T is silent, isn't it?
I hope not, because I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time.
You've been pronouncing it wrong, dude. The phonetic spelling, they got it's Gatrot.
Sorry, with a W.
You go.
Yes.
Wow,
yes,
she is
Gatrot.
never coming on this podcast because you can't say her name right.
We will not bring this up to her ever, so I'm going to bury that. But
Morgan Gatrot, dude, and Vanessa DiBernardo.
You just said it. You said Gatrot.
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Did I?
I think so.
Well, I have speech things sometimes. Had an eye exam today, by the way. You ever have an eye exam?
Not for a very long time.
Never really had one. And I was like, might as well get one. And I just got a huge head with him telling me how great my eyes are. Yeah. Yeah. But now I feel like everything's too bright because they like puff little blasts of air into your eyeballs. I'm like, didn't like that. Not a fun time. But glad I could share my day with you. Morgan Gatrot, Vanessa DiBernardo, 2-year agreements, dude, and our first free agent signed by KC Current under the league's new CBA. That's collective bargaining agreement, if you're paying attention. Are you excited about this? These were rumored.
So Gatrot,
these are speculated. I don't know if they were rumored. They were speculated.
It was speculated amongst Discord servers and other avenues. Gatrot,
hey, we're big in the Blue Crew Discord, by the way. I don't know if you know.
I don't know, but I'd love to hear it.
You're in the Blue Crew Discord. How do you not know?
I don't check it as much as I should.
You should get on there. My wife's a stalwart. She's in there. She's doing the Lord's work. I don't know. She's probably just creeping.
That's okay. But 2 big signings. I love them. Gatrot, I think a fantastic signing. She played in the World Cup in 2015 and 2019.
Wow, count them. That's 2 World Cups.
So 2. She can play everywhere. Her specialty and her bread and butter is more of a central midfielder and kind of a defensive and holding midfielder as well. So she brings that to the table. That's something that, we can definitely use. And, more importantly, IQ, veteran leadership, she brings along with her. So incredibly solid signing there. The only kind of thing that is a little iffy is she does have some injury history.
Okay, who doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean, when you play for a few years, you tally them up a little bit. It happens.
Yeah. She missed a chunk of last year with a calf injury, but she's healthy now, and she'll she should be good to go starting next year.
She also went and played in France for a bit. So that's a big deal when you get anyone, I'd say any professional athlete that goes overseas to play somewhere is a big deal. Just, I don't know, you respect their soccer IQ a little more, I think. But, she was drafted to the Houston Dynamo, then went to Chicago Red Stars, which Chicago just sounds like a fire sale of a club right now. Man. I don't know what's going on, but people want out, as seen here that we got, 2 Chicago players here. So I'm excited about this, man. So she said, Morgan Gautrat, she said, I am beyond excited to be joining the KC Current family. The ownership, the facilities, the staff, the team, and the resources are world class. I am grateful for the opportunity to call this club home and to help the team in any way that I can. I can't wait to play in front of the amazing fans, that's us, and hopefully bring back a trophy to Kansas City, KC baby.
I love it.
That's excitement, man. It is December, and I'm ready to play soccer. I'm ready to get things going.
She is one of those pieces that you can just throw in and she'll pick it right up.
Yeah.
And she can put your team over the top.
Love to hear that, man. I mean, she's played in Olympics. She's played in World Cups. This is a big deal. So I'm excited about that. Moving forward to Vanessa DiBernardo. She is the daughter of former U.S. men's national team player, Angelo DiBernardo. Did you know this?
I did.
It's pretty awesome. But, she represented the U.S. at the U20 and U23 levels. So there's a little experience there on the international stage. Grew up in Illinois, man. Chicago, born and bred, pretty much. So, what say you? She doesn't have as many Twitter followers as Morgan, but that's okay. Is this a good depth signing, or can she fight for playing time here?
She's a starter right off the bat.
She's a starter.
She is a starter right off the bat, hands down. She played the 6 last year, so again, she could play she could play anywhere.
She was selected 4th overall in the draft. The first round, 4th pick.
There is no spot in that midfield she cannot play. So you want to talk about, having some, Potter likes to move pieces around. You get injuries, you get national team call-ups, whatever comes her way, she's going to be able to slide in and play that position very effectively.
Well, dude, she spent her whole career in Chicago, so she's never been away from home, technically. Naperville is just a expensive suburb of Chicago, man. So, coming here, going into this next season, DiBernardo ranks 8th all time in assists and 2nd in corner kicks. I don't, read into that what you will, but in the NWSL, that's she has the 2nd most corner kicks taken. So, Vanessa says, I'm so excited to be joining Kansas City and starting a new chapter in my career. What this club is doing for the game, their players, and this league is special. And I'm grateful to get the opportunity to be a part of it. I can't wait to get started and help this team in any way I can to push for a championship. I see what's happening here. They saw our little championship run and they're like, that seems a lot better than playing in Bridgeview, Illinois.
We are 1 or 2 pieces away from being able to win a championship. And here we are. Gautrat has the nickname of the Butcher of Bridgeview.
Is that for real?
Yeah, that was on her Instagram post as well. I don't know if she wants to continue that nickname, but if you ever have the Butcher in your name, I mean, you got to keep it.
Oh my God. Yes. What do you? There's no B words around here. What could she be the butcher of?
I don't know.
I mean, there's a bridge down by the stadium. I got
Butcher
nothing.
The bridge. I don't know.
Butcher of our producer Tucker Franklin coming in hot. Butcher of Brookside.
There we go.
There it is.
I like it.
Trademark that. You can have it. You can have it, Morgan. You can use it.
Yep. But I mean, these are 2 just phenomenal signings. If you would have told me that we would have got both of these players, I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. That shows the commitment of this team into bringing in quality players, right? We are not a team that's going to sit on the side and just hope we luck into a good run. They're making it happen. You take a look at this midfield. with, them to Lola Labonta, Sam Mewis, if she gets back on the field, there's so much to like where midfield is at. Claire Lavoisier, if she can make it back at any point next year. I mean, it's incredible.
Potentially Desiree Scott. I mean,
Yep.
Kind of just a little side note. You mentioned when we were getting started, Daniel Sperry, Sporting KC beat reporter, mentioned he spoke to Cami Levin, right?
Yep.
The KC current president, and said that they're very much in discussions with Desi and hope that both sides walk away happy. And I'm like, that tells me nothing. That's like say, well, we're talking about divorce and maybe both couples, walk away happy.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because both of, Gautrat and DiBernardo can play the defensive midfield position.
Yeah.
So, we're kind of covered if that is the case. That's obviously not what we would prefer.
Is this something to read into then? Is Desi gone?
I don't know.
Okay.
Gautrat can play anywhere in the midfield, but her bread and butter is the defensive mid. But with her injury,
butcher of bread and butter.
with her injury history, though, it's it wouldn't hurt to have Desiree Scott there and just kind of shuffle some things around.
You keep saying injury history. I don't like that. I don't like to hear
it. That's why she fell out of favor of the national team, though.
Is that right?
Her injury history, yeah. So it wasn't her quality; it was just her ability to stay on the field. So,
okay.
But I mean, we got a national team player.
Yeah, anytime you can have that is something. I mean, when we had Becky Sauerbrunn, you think we weren't all talking about that? When Sydney Leroux came to play like a single game for FC Kansas City, it seems like she was here for a cup of coffee. She was gone pretty quickly. But just having someone from the national team always makes you feel good.
And she's played with Sam Mewis and Lynn Williams. So there is a bunch of and AD French, a bunch of women's national team connections here.
Well, and think about on the subject of national team, we have Australian national team, we have international players. I mean, it's Canadian national team players. It's exciting. We got quality here, and it's really cool to see, man. I'm getting pretty pumped.
I'm excited. This gives Matt Potter a lot of options in the midfield. He can be very creative on what he wants to do.
That'd be a problem for me. I'd be like, wow, too many options. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it would be like, shit, what am I going to do? You just don't know. So you get to training camp and figure some shit out.
Yep. And I mean, we still got the draft coming up. We are not done adding players. We're not done adding players. That I can promise you. In the press conference at the end of the year, the current basically said, we're also looking at some defensive options. So, they want to bolster the defense. There's some rumors out there that the current are interested in a few different attackers to bring in. So they're not done.
No, not at all. Something I didn't mention, by the way, Vanessa DiBernardo was inducted into the University of Illinois Athletics Hall of Fame. That's kind of cool. I mean, Hall of Fame, a lot of people don't read too much into that. They think, well, it's just a thing, right? It doesn't really matter. But it does matter. It's kind of neat. Have you ever been to like a Hall of Fame, like a sports or a music or anything like that?
I've been to the College Basketball Hall of Fame over at T-Mobile.
See, and I've yet to even go there. I've yet to even be there. And I'm like, what am I waiting for? I don't know. I've been to the Country Music Hall of Fame, and I want to go to the Rock and Roll one, but just being inducted to your university's Athletics Hall of Fame is kind of cool.
I mean, it's really cool.
Well, moving forward, man, we welcome them to the team. Hopefully we can get one or both of them on here sometime and discuss what went into this decision. That wasn't an easy decision, stuff like that. If they've gotten integrated into the team well and all that. So what's next on the agenda? I know we got some NWSL news going on. Pretty big stuff.
We do. First and foremost, Kristen Edmonds went to Gotham.
Oh yes, this happened like a day after we recorded last week.
Yep.
So she's going to be closer to home. You don't gotta like it, but you gotta understand it.
Yep. She gave everything. I mean, she gave it
Yeah.
all. She was a leader on and off the field. She did a lot of volunteer work.
Yep.
She volunteered, I believe, for the KC Pet Project, but she was everywhere. She did everything.
She was liking tweets about it on Twitter.
Yep.
She liked my tweet about it. I was like, I hope she just continues to, be successful wherever she is. But man, this hurts,
It does. And she played really well. Her last game, I thought, was one of her best in the championship.
Yeah.
And that run in general, she was great.
She was solid. I mean, she was never a bench player. She was always out there getting work done, putting work in. But it's you understand it, right? To get closer to home, like people do it all the time. She was a free agent. The option was there. I don't know. I don't gotta like it, but but it is what it is.
I mean, her family traveled to so many current games.
Yeah.
I mean, that had to be very difficult for her family to do so.
Yeah, even her mom, dude. She's just, my parents aren't even on Twitter, and her mom's out there tweeting about game day and shit. And she's like, my favorite color will still always be teal. And I'm like, come through, Mrs. Edmonds, come through. I love it, dude.
That's awesome. I'm happy for her, though. At the end of the day, I'm happy for her. It's not what we wanted, but ultimately It's good for her.
Happy she made a good decision. We'll also be happy to kick the shit out of them next year. So there you go. Hey, well, that's cool. Congrats to her and everything. Next, you're running the show today.
Oh man, so let's talk about some rumors.
Oh,
let's talk about some. I mean, we're on this, free agent spree right now, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some forwards. There has been two major rumors going here. I'm going to go into the older one first. Duvernay is a Haitian forward. She's 19 years old.
Yeah.
She plays in France for club, and she is an incredibly talented player. She gave the U.S. women's national team fits in CONCACAF, and I think that really put her on a larger radar. And the Current have either been in negotiations or interested, and that's what the rumors are. Now,
and that's coming from like a Haitian outfit, right? Like a French outfit or something.
It did, but that was going on like towards the middle to end of last year. We were kind of wondering if she might get signed by the Current, right before the deadline, but that did not happen. But a lot of other teams are going after her, so I don't know what's going to come of it. The other one is Mimi Larsson, 28 years old, from Sweden. She currently plays in Sweden. She is a right wing or a center forward. She has played for the Swedish national team in 2019. She has 30 caps. She's a quality forward as well.
That seems realistic, right? We're always talking about our forwards, and all due respect to Kristen Hamilton up there, the finishing was never really on display from a forward standpoint. We were getting goals elsewhere, defenders, midfielders, all that, PKs. I like that Swedish talk. I think that sounds pretty cool. A little help up top never hurts anybody.
It's a sign, and that's also a sign of a good team, right? When you can get goals from everywhere. I mean,
sure.
Not very often.
We didn't get enough goals, bro. We broke even as far as our goal differential. We had a 0 goal differential, like going into the playoffs.
It was tough. I think there's a lot to be desired in terms of our attack and finishing.
Yeah, everyone else in the playoffs had very positive goal differentials.
Yeah,
and we were stuck at 0. So hey, we still made the playoffs. At the end of the day, but everyone wants to see goals. That's the game.
And these rumors go to show you that the Current front office kind of want that as well, right?
Yeah,
they're being linked to a lot of forwards here, so that just goes to show they're thinking the exact same thing.
Putting some feelers out, seeing what comes back. I dig that. You think the Swedish one is more prominent than the Haitian one, or are they both still in very silly rumor stage?
I think Larsson is more likely because rumors are a little fresher. The Haitian rumor was the middle of this year, right? I can see her being very expensive given her age. Larson's 28, so I think that she might be a little more affordable. But regardless, we currently have 2 international players spots or slots left for the current. The other one being Lavoisier and Lagarzo are taken. We traded one away for CC Kaiser to Racing, so we have 2 left. So that gives us some options there. So if I were a betting man, I kind of think that we might get a Swedish forward at some point, and she'd be a starter. By the way, she wouldn't be like a depth piece. I think she would battle Chris and Hamilton for the starting position.
Absolutely. Or I mean, come on, man. Formations can change all the time. You know what I mean? You go with a 2 forward system or something if that's necessary. Matt Potter didn't change it up too much throughout the year. They kind of had a good system the whole way through. But I feel that if the quality's there, I think he's adaptable enough to be like, okay, let's try this out, see if it works.
Yeah. And Hamilton has, I think, 1 or 2 years left on her deal. So you never know. Okay. You never know what they're thinking. Right.
Yeah. Who knows, man? You hate to see her go somewhere. You hate to see her be like trade bait or something like that. But I feel like, I feel like she's got plenty to give. She's fast as hell. That's for sure.
Yeah. You never know with all these new players coming in and all the draft picks, you never know how, and a new GM, right? New general manager, what they think. When you get a new general manager or anything like that, they tend to like players more than others. They tend to like their players more than the previous general managers players. So it kind of makes you wonder if, Cammy is just looking to bring in some fresh, somebody from outside the league, something that's not exactly NWSL, somebody who can bring in a different look. Hamilton's been in the league for a long time, but this league has adapted. This league has changed, and it just kind of makes you wonder if, they're trying to bring in something different.
Changing all the time, man. It's pretty crazy to see just the growth of this women's soccer league in the last couple of years. It's just wild. And I think Kansas City has been a big proponent of that. I think San Diego has played a big part in that. God, everyone wants to play in San Diego. It's gorgeous, and they have great players and big name players. Yeah, I'll go play with Alex Morgan. Why the hell not? She's probably good. It just feels that there's not really a resurgence, but there's a serious like growing boom happening right now. Just feels exciting, man. I don't know. And a bunch of dummies out there that like to hate soccer, right? And then there's soccer people who like to hate women's soccer. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, who asked you what you liked? You know what I mean? You don't have to voice your opinion all the damn time. Just be a nice person.
It takes nothing to be nice, right? It costs you nothing to be nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's when you don't text back right away, it's tough. It's difficult to be nice. I'll be honest.
For those who don't know, I am a very horrible texter. My response time is averaging in the days. And
listen,
Dan gets so irritated.
It's just, I don't understand. We need to get you a wearable device, dude, because that motherfucker vibrates and shit. Now Siri's trying to look something up because I lifted my watch. It's not, you've been way better since you joined this show because you need information. Like you need to give me things and I need to give you things.
You're engaged. I am one of those people that like, I'll read it and 2 seconds later, I will mentally think I responded and then it's out. It's gone.
That's a psychopath. That's a psycho way of thinking.
And then a day later, I'll get like a comment from you and I'm like, oh shit, I better respond to Dan.
Oh, sorry to inconvenience. Listen, who does that? Who just says like, oh, I'm pretty sure I respond. What? You don't think you responded. You either did or you didn't. What life do you live, sir?
I think it's a common problem, or at least I hope so. Maybe I'm making excuses for myself. I don't know.
Not a common problem. It is not a common problem. You're just so busy all day. What are you doing? Working from home? Life is good. What are you so busy doing? Tedious work?
Not responding, apparently.
Sorry, Call of Duty got crazy tonight. I probably responded to Dan already. I don't know.
It's a struggle. It's a real struggle over here.
God dang. All right, there's my monthly rip on you for that. Like I said, hey, you deserve props though. You've gotten a lot better. So good job.
That I appreciate.
Good job, Pony Boy. So hey, moving forward, those rumors, maybe something comes through. What's next? What do we got?
So there's been some big news regarding women's soccer. You had a great transition earlier, but we went on a side tangent. There is going to be a new Canadian women's soccer professional league that is supposed to develop and come into fruition on April of 2025. There is going to be 8 teams in the league starting off.
How do we feel about this? Are we battling them? Is this like a competitor thing for players? I mean,
it will be.
Or is it like the Canadian Football League that people don't really respect at all?
They will be. One of their goals is to bring in half of the 100 international Canadian players that play overseas, whether the US or Europe. So they want to bring half of those players back into the Canadian domestic league. There's
then
5.
They got to pay them.
They do. It's to buy in and get a team is about $5 to $8 million. That's the expected kind of buy-in range.
Let's look into it.
Yeah, can we crowdsource or fundraise or whatever?
Can you imagine?
I think I'd make a fantastic GM. Probably not, actually.
Hey, dude.
I would do terrible.
I'd be in charge of marketing and shit. I'd be all over it. It'd be a blast.
I would like to be the finance guy. I like numbers.
You do enjoy numbers. It's weird.
It's weird. It's weird. There's 2 teams that are currently.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, you wouldn't buy any players worth a damn because you don't like to spend money as a person. So you'd be sitting there being like, got the money, really don't want to spend the money. I gotta convince you to like buy an actual meal. I'm like, what are you doing? You have money. And you're like, yeah, but we're gonna buy a house. I'm like, don't you have enough money on down payment? Yeah, but we're building more.
Everything you said is not inaccurate. It's factual.
It's factual.
It's true. I would like to think I'm not frugal, but I'm also not wasteful. That's the line I tell myself repeatedly. But if it's not my money, I will happily spend it.
Yeah, so that's true. That's very true. So okay, the buy-in's $5 to $8 mil for a team or whatever. Not a big deal.
There's 2 teams already that are in there.
They'll just play each other.
Whitecaps,
36 times.
Vancouver Whitecaps. They're going to have a team for their women, and then the Calgary Foothills Soccer Club.
It's a mouthful.
Don't know. It is, and I don't know much about it, but they're going to have a team in Calgary. So
it's a 5-letter abbreviation. I don't like it.
CFSC.
Yeah, it's like Florida Gulf Coast State University or some shit. I don't like it.
But ultimately, it's good for women.
Okay.
More professional opportunities, right?
Tell me why I feel so like competitive right now. Like, why do I want to challenge it? America and all that.
I maybe the World Cup has you like very, nationalistic right now.
I'm very patriot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dressing like a bald eagle in my spare time. No, I just feel like I feel like it will drag players from us. But overall, you're right. It's going to be better for the players and it will increase the market and isn't, competition is good for everybody. You go to the highest bidder. I mean, hey, Canada wants to pay me a lot more. It's just a little bit north. So I'm heading up there.
And you can't help but think it's probably going to help them to develop, more national team players as well. So it's a win-win. Again, it's a long way away. So it's kind of hard not to get, I don't want to put my stock into it too much because a lot of things can happen between now and April of 2025.
Right. But, yeah, true. It could, we know what happened to the XFL.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. So I'm happy for him. Happy for my Canadian friends out there.
You have Canadian friends?
I have one. I have one Canadian. So I should have phrased that my Canadian friend.
Okay.
But I was trying to be inclusive of everybody,
Right.
I think I have more friends than what I do.
trying to pad your friendship resume, like trying to see like I have tons of friends, tons of them. Let's be honest.
4.
We all have like 4 good friends. And at the end of the day, if you have more than that, that's crazy. How are you spreading your time? How are you giving them all your love?
I can barely respond to the 2 or 3 I have.
You can barely respond to 2 or 3 you have. That's no lie. I will be honest. My other podcast homie, Jimmy Mack, he is a great texter. And I'm like, he's got you there, buddy. So your move.
He does. And I don't know. Bless Jimmy. Bless
It's all
Jimmy.
good. Bless him. Well, shit. So that's cool. We'll see what happens there. What else? More NWSL news?
Merritt Paulson is going to sell the Thorns.
Yeah,
so,
that was the thing that happened, but not the Timbers.
Not the Timbers.
So why?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of moving parts there.
A lot of moving parts with a lot of players supporting him. Is that weird?
It was a little bit.
Kind of cringy? I don't know. I don't really know how to feel because I'm not in that position, but my initial reaction was like, hey.
Yeah, that was my exact initial reaction. Just
I think I texted you and I was like, ew, right?
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird, isn't it? But it's a thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Washington Spirit sold for $35 million. So the valuation is, from what I'm hearing, probably around $50 million.
Okay.
Ish. And they're a very successful club. So
sure. That's crazy, dude. You go to the why am I drawing a blank? They beat us in the cup. Okay, and boom, you're sold. Like I don't that just feels weird. Like from a fan standpoint. Like our club is in such shambles. We'd love to celebrate this championship right now, but we're not okay.
Well, to make matters more interesting, their head coach resigned. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did. And that's not something that happens after a coach wins a championship, unless they retire, you know?
Yeah. She had a relationship with one of her players. They reported it. So there's no wrongdoing in terms of kind of the chain of command and reporting it and, investigation or anything like that. But it did create a power imbalance kind of within the team, which led a lot of the players to ask her to resign. And she did.
Wait, so like they said they were openly dating or whatever.
They went to like their HR, they reported it. Yeah. And
like
then
a typical job.
Right.
Okay.
And a lot of the players were unhappy with it because it created that imbalance.
You think like a little nepotism, like maybe you're not as hard on her as you are on us, or
playing time, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could understand that.
Right.
Just a wild time.
I've never seen a team win a championship and then immediately, be on the market and their head coach resigning. It's crazy.
Yeah. Resigning and selling the club. So Merritt Paulson is not a great person from what we all know. Don't really have time to get into all that, but he's not a good guy, but yet he gets to make money off of. So the rich get richer, man. And then there's us,
It makes you appreciate our front office and our ownership group, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it should be the standard. It should be the standard to have a solid ownership group that respects their athletes and the safety and everything. But, when you see stuff like that, and then, Chicago, Arnim Whistler is going to sell his stake in the Red Stars. It just makes you appreciate what we have here.
But is it weird that KC current co-owner is in a sexual relationship with a Sporting KC co-owner?
It took me a minute to process that.
It took you a minute. Obviously, Patrick and Brittany Mahomes. Yeah. Congratulations on.
I was like, baby. Did you just break news? Like, what's going on?
No.
But
I was trying to be devious, and really, I'm just being factual.
You're on one day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on Whistler selling his stake in Chicago? I mean, you were there not too long ago.
Yeah, and I wanted to be when I was there, and KC didn't have a team. they went to Salt Lake. I was like, well, I'm not gonna follow them. So I lived in Chicago. I was like, maybe I'll, try to get on the Red Stars train. I don't know. I think they're good. Just I lived in Chicago proper, dude, like downtown, right by Navy Pier, Streeterville area, if you're familiar. And Bridgeview was not a easy car drive, and we didn't have cars anyway. So it certainly wasn't an easy train bus ride. That's what it came down to. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's just the support. I don't think they got the support that they wish they had because they played so far away. They were in a Hispanic community, which is probably great. A big Hispanic community probably came to those games. So, but it's we've been. Wait, did we go out there? No, you came to town. We didn't go to a game, did we?
No, we didn't.
Gotcha. But it's I went to Chicago Fire game when they played at Bridgeview, and it's just it's not the same. It's not a good feel, But you could say the same thing about Sporting. Like they're a little bit of ways, but not that far. You know what I mean? Not way out of the city. At least they're still in Kansas City,
Right.
So.
Yeah, and just whenever I watch Chicago play on TV, the Red Stars, I mean, I know it's a larger stadium, right? But it just didn't feel like it had that. And I could be completely wrong, but it didn't have that,
You said it's a larger stadium?
Isn't it? It's larger than how large is the stadium they play at?
That was just regular size. What's it called? Is it still called SeatGeek?
I'm not sure. But when I watched it, it just didn't feel like there was a huge, supporter presence that you would see in like a Portland or a Kansas City or something like that. So
SeatGeek Stadium, 20,000 capacity. So
okay.
It's a little bigger, I guess.
Yeah, not much, but
well, I mean, it's we'll see what happens there, man. But clearly, things were not going great there. I have one experience with a Chicago Red Stars player. I don't need to name her, but it was we were at a comedy show, and she was there with other Red Stars players. Oh my God, what if DiBernardo was one of them? And they were like, they were supposed to be there through the club because my buddies, the Cooligans, were doing stand up, and they were just loudly, obnoxiously like talking and watching the USWNT game like on their phone in the corner. And then one girl tries to go like back and forth with the comedian, like kind of heckling. And I was talking to the Cooligans later, and they're like, wow, this is so crazy. Like, why did this happen? So it was weird. I think they were all boozing up and would much rather have been anywhere else. Oh my God, we need to have DiBernardo on here. Maybe she was part of this.
I'll let you take that. I'll let you take that story.
Maybe I shouldn't bring that up.
Yeah. But that player is no longer with Chicago.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, you're familiar with who I'm talking about? I
think so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's I'll be like, Vanessa, were you super obnoxious? Was this you?
Their whole team's imploding, though, man. It's just wild to see. Like players are gone.
Oh, she's with San Diego now.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Danny Calaprico. So
yeah,
okay.
But yeah, players are retiring. So it's kind of like Mallory Pugh. What are you doing? You want out?
Hell yeah. You want to come to Kansas City and score a bunch of goals?
She shredded us.
She's the shredder, dude. She shreds everybody.
Yeah.
Whenever she scores, I go pew pew. Why wouldn't you? It's the best celebration for her last name.
That's true. It took me a second to piece that together, but yeah. But yeah, and I don't think they have a lot of resources in terms of draft picks either. So I'm interested as a somebody who's not involved with that team. I'm curious how they approach the offseason.
Right. And it's not like we can talk to one of these two ladies about it because they're not, what are they going to do? Bash their old employer? I mean, that'd be disrespectful. So wish they would. It's always fun to hear. I love that shit.
Oh man. But let me ask you. So with the moves we just made, what is that in a potential return of Desiree Scott? We don't know what's going on there. I think Cammie did kind of give an answer that left to be determined.
I think it says a lot is what it is. I mean, you can read between the lines and just maybe something happens. Desi's talked about retiring. I mean, who the hell knows?
Yeah. But where does that leave Addie McCain and Del Fava in your mind with the signings? I mean, they're not midfielders, right? Del Fava is a defender and Addie's a forward. But where do you think that leaves us there? Or does not impact anything like those the two signings we just made?
I don't think it should it impact that. I mean,
we do have a roster limit, and then we have 8 draft picks. So with these two signings, we're at 20 players, I believe.
Okay.
So, and if we bring in any forward or any defender from somewhere else, I know they want to work on our defense, so I don't think they're gonna, try and fix the defense with a draft pick,
right?
Know? So,
it's true, man. I don't know. I have no feedback on that. I don't know where those ladies stand in the lineup. I don't think it has any impact, though, to be honest. And just things aren't done yet, though. Things are still shaping up for sure.
A lot of time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Is that where we at now?
I think we covered all the news, man. I'm just still so excited, man. 2 incredible players that shore up our defense. Yeah. And midfield. And I just can't be more excited to have them.
Can we give shouts to Casey Current's content team, though?
Yes.
These women are not great actors, okay, for one. I just want to throw that out there. This wasn't like Oscar-worthy performance or anything like that. But like the fact that they teased it on socials yesterday with a little ding dong, a little hooded player at the freaking doorbell, and you're over here being a little secret sleuth. You're like texting me like, oh, looks like brown hair. You were like Caucasian, 5'6".
I was trying to break down anything I could. And what gave Morgan Gautrat away to me is on Instagram, she followed the Current, and then she followed Cammie, the GM.
Yeah, she blew it. She blew it. She wasn't a good secret keeper.
But I had no idea DiBernardo was in the cards. So
right. But so today, Wednesday, that video plays, they ring the bell, and who answers the call is DiBernardo, right?
Right.
And gives her the password into the facility, which is KC Baby. Shouts to our our communications best friend, Grace Rogers. She is like, well, now we have to change the password. But they show up together, and she's like, yeah, I'm already here. And they're both, got the jerseys on. It's like, oh my gosh, this is a great announcement. I love it way more than when LAFC was doing like remember the hat lifts for every player they announced. They had like a hat on and then lifted their head. Get the fuck out of here. We don't care about your black hat. This was great. Ding dong. Hello, new players. How you doing?
Well, it's not just a new player. I did not see 2 coming, right? They just hit me with a twofer.
It was bait and switch. It's like, there's a new player. And it's like, there's 2?
It was creative.
And they know
it was fantastic.
It works because they're like, oh, hey, friend, I'm here too.
Yeah.
I love it. So shouts to Casey Current, man. Just being innovative and fun. And I think it's a fun community too. Like as fans to see that and receive it in such a fun fashion. Like we're so kind of dorky. I mean, a super serious person could be like, well, that's fucking stupid, but it's not stupid. It's fun and cheeky, and I'm here for it.
I have not seen a better reveal of a player or players at any given point, right? Like,
yeah, good point.
That might be the most creative or the best player reveal I think I've seen to date.
Well, it's not the first time Casey Current's getting these kind of shout outs. I mean, people on Twitter are always tweeting at him like, you guys are just the best at content and socials. And it's like, that's cool, man. That's where the world's going now. It's where it is. So if you're not good at that, you better get with the program.
And on top of that, they, Gautrat and DiBernardo did a few more video segments of them, you know, showing them in their jersey in the locker room, touring the stadium that they're building, or the grounds rather.
Yeah.
But just like they were
the stadium. Technically, yeah. They were touring the stadium.
Not wrong, right? But they always had a smile on their face. They were always incredibly it seemed like they were just loving it, man. And that's contagious, because when we see that, we feel it, and then we get more excited.
Absolutely. No question. I'm excited to see a little freaking progress on that stadium, man. I'm excited to see that go up. So
absolutely.
Cool. Well, buddy, you got anything else? Anything else for everybody?
I think we covered all the news. That was a very busy news week, right?
It was. I'm glad
a lot to cover.
I'm glad you had your documents pulled up, ready to go.
I had it right. I was afraid I was going to forget something. And while we're on,
you did.
I did. So have you been following Lo LaBonta on social media at all?
Yeah, she's just traveling the world and having the absolute best life ever. So pretty great.
Yeah, she is. But she is somewhere in Florida, and she's with 11 other players, and they're filming something called the off season or off.
Is she part of this?
Yeah.
It's like a reality show, right?
It is. So it's 2 weeks with 12 players. They're training at like elite facilities. And
are they getting voted off the island and shit?
That I don't know. And I don't know where to watch it either. But former Kansas City current player Darian Jenkins is also in there. So,
and who does she play for now?
She plays for Orlando.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean,
there has to be an elimination process here. I'm a big fan of Amazing Race, Survivor. I need some people voted off the island. You've been voted out of Florida. You're welcome.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited about that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the format, but
let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. She's a star, man. She's
like Big Brother, dude. It's like Big Brother with soccer. Maybe they'll compete in drills to see who wins head of household, and then they gotta do the beep test to see who wins power of veto. They could use it if they're nominated.
You're really excited about that, aren't
Buddy,
you?
I am a reality junkie. You want to do another podcast? You want to do a reality show podcast?
I have not watched. I think the last one I watched was like on MTV way back in the day.
What?
Yeah,
like what, the Real World or something?
Yeah, the real world.
That's not good competition series. That's not great.
Did they have like the challenge or something? Or
challenge is supposed to be fun. I haven't gotten into the challenge, but you got Amazing Race finale tonight, so get on that. It's a good time.
Man. What season are they on nowadays? Like 80?
I don't even know. I just know I probably could not be on it because my hips. One lady's on there and she's limping real bad with a knee problem, and I'm like, girl, same. Anyways, cool, man. Keep an eye out for the off season. Wow, I'll certainly keep an eye out for that. That sounds awesome. So, well, cool. Let's wrap it up, man. If you guys want to follow us on socials, please do at No Other Pod, Twitter and Instagram, at Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright. We are our lovely producer behind the scenes is Tucker Franklin. That's right. I decided I'm going to start giving Tucker a shout out because why wouldn't you?
He does a lot of work out there.
Yeah. If you want to hit us up, email nootherpod@gmail.com. Ask us a question. Just give us some love, whatever. So that's all. That's all this week. We'll be back next week with the same teal talk on currently on No Other Pod. So
like it.
Yep. He's Chris. I'm Daniel. We love you so much. Goodbye.